making me tea as well. But my next recording, I want to put this together because it's very, very weird, this, on how they say it's just a one-off thing in England. They say that the person's never known to the police. Well, I think they're wrong.
Belfast stabbing victim Stephen Ogilvie is improving and he could be awoken from a coma within the next 48 hours.
Oh, where have you gone? Where have you gone? There it is. Got it.
Hello and welcome on to True Grit Media. I have some very disturbing, relevant and breaking news to bring to you, in which a story has started to circulate across the UK media, which has been radio silenced as it happened a couple of months ago. But now the truth is coming out. The mainstream won't talk about it, but my job is to, as we're here to speak, expose and live the truth, because the truth must be heard. And there's a reason why this is being kept radio silent. Because of the actions of what we saw in Belfast, where an African migrant tried to behead a man in the streets of Belfast, and if it wasn't for the intervention of Irish patriots, he may have succeeded. Well, unfortunately, as his title says, another African migrant did succeed. Because in Florence, near Italy, a German woman was decapitated. These people are monsters. They live a different way of life. They have a different way of thinking. And they do not fit in Western society. If you agree with everything I've said, then hit the like button, subscribe, and get in the comments below, as I give you the full breakdown of exactly what has happened in this story today. So, let's get straight to social media where I saw this going around. Now, I want to add onto record, I just mentioned that it happened a few months ago. It has been absolute radio silence. I've done some Google searches, I've done some further investigating what I do. Not one UK media outlet covered this story. I've got this translated from Dutch. A Dutch person posted this. And they said, on February the 18th, 2026, in Scandicci, near Florence in Italy, the gruesomely mutilated body of Silke Sura was found. The 44-year-old German woman, without a fixed address, lay in an abandoned, dilapidated building in the old CNR zone. She had been beheaded. The suspect is Izam Chilia, a man around 30 of Moroccan descent.
And then they said he wasn't.
He lived in the same building and knew Silke. According to witnesses, there was a fierce argument that night. He shouted verses from the Quran and screamed that the devil had taken possession of her, after which he beheaded her with a machete and knife.
I've got to say, I mean, there's one thing.
The details, as I said, are highly disturbing.
Going out and doing
in itself.
I mean, mine's not like.
But when you see the pattern that is occurring across Western Europe,
they want to chop the Pope.
African migrants.
Saying, well, they might as well chop King Charles.
This one of Muslim descent, of Islam,
and do the rest.
Beheading.
But I'm saying,
a Western European
that
woman.
the English, we need to get to King Charles first.
Male, female, it does not matter to these men. They are savages. Their go-to is this beheading. And we've seen it in the past. We've seen it with extreme terrorist groups in Syria, in Afghanistan, who have used this as their form of messaging to the world, a form of torture, a form of punishment.
Yeah, they're doing it in Italy.
But it just seems that it is common in this society.
It's a tactic of scaring everyone.
Now people might say, oh, how do you know this is true? This is just some online social media post. Where's the verification of all of this? Well, when you crunch in on Google the name, okay, and then of course outlets, you get a bit more articles on it, and I'm going to show you. Here is one article that gives a little bit more further information on it from the press. So this is an article called Arabia English, a bit of world news. German homeless woman decapitated in Florence report. Italian police said Friday they had identified a suspect in the beheading of a woman in Florence, who media reports described as a homeless 44-year-old. I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger, sorry, there you go. Of a 44-year-old German who was homeless. Police found the decapitated body of a woman at an abandoned site in Scansea, a suburb of the Tuscan city, after a homeless person raised their alarm Wednesday. The investigation resulted in the seizure of several items, including a machete and a knife with blood traces found in the immediate vicinity of the body, the police said in a statement. A man already known to the law enforcement and currently hospitalised under surveillance is a serious suspect in a brutal crime. Well, there's something to note already. Already known to law enforcement. So have we now got another classic case? Have we now got another classic case of where an attack could have been stopped before it happened because law enforcement already knew about these uncontrolled, unvetted migrants?
Yeah.
It seems so.
Oh.
So let's continue because
So the law enforcement already know about the vetted migrants, these people that they've been bringing in. Well, yeah, because the Pope and King Charles is in it and all the rest of them are in it together. There must be something that this been stealing because they signed it, all of them, or something. And they all seem to be lying about it, all of them.
So have we now got another classic case? Have we now got another classic case?
Possibly, yeah.
Of where an attack could have been stopped before it happened because law enforcement already knew about these uncontrolled, unvetted migrants? It seems so.
Well, they've been bringing them in, haven't they?
So let's continue because it actually gets worse. The man was spotted with multiple traces of blood on his clothes just before the woman's body was found, it added. The woman was German and was known to homeless charities in the area, moving around a lot and frequenting several food kitchens. The regional La Nazione newspaper said. So again, one of the sources in the area, La Nazione, reported this.
We've got no doctors.
Here we go. This is where I get annoyed again. The suspect was a young man from North Africa and known to suffer from mental health problems, it said.
Well, if they were bringing all these doctors,
So
then they'd be able to get bloody appointments, surely.
We're playing that card, the mental health card
Back
again.
to that one, yeah. Same one we made.
The pair were seeing each other and shared a makeshift shelter in the area, it added.
Have you noticed? You keep saying that to
A
me.
very interesting report there with further details. Number one, as I said, he was known by the police, but let's go to the mental health. How many people in the UK suffer from some sort of mental health? Whether it's anxiety, depression, maybe they have a disorder like ADHD.
Thank you. How many people? So are you telling everybody to phone the Samaritans and everybody to ring 999 and these things? Are you telling everybody that speaks on the here with any sort of things like I'm saying or anybody's saying? Are you telling everybody to ring the Samaritans and 999? No wonder nobody can get anywhere because you keep telling everybody to ring them when they don't need to. Huh. I should not be ringing the police or any of them unless there's an emergency. And if you keep telling people to ring them, no wonder I can't get a normal appointment. It's your fault. Well then whose blooming fault is it then? Because obviously not mine, because I'm ringing the doctor and I can't get an appointment. Yeah. How many people have got mental health issues? So this is what I mean. I mean, and then, if you're saying that, nobody else can. Nah, it's rubbish. You're talking shit. Meta AI.
And shared a makeshift shelter in the area, it added. A very interesting report there with further details. Number one, as I said, he was known by the police, but let's go to the mental health thing. How many people in the UK suffer from some sort of mental health, whether it's anxiety, depression, maybe they have a disorder like ADHD or OCD?
Samaritans. I've just told you.
Do you see those people going around and beheading people?
And then everybody's getting
Do you see those people going on murderous, ravenous attacks?
So I haven't just made the word
So why is it
beheading
when these migrants commit such crimes?
That's what's being said.
There is always that idea
I'm saying
mental
what they're
health,
saying.
cover-up, ideology. It winds me up. It winds me up. Every time without fail. Find any big attack. You go to, for example, if anyone can remember, the ninth attacker in Islington and Hillingdon, both in the same
got
period
dyslexia and
of
stuff,
last year, where he went on a train and attacked a load of people, and then in the
I
streets.
don't attack anybody.
Straight
I don't do
away,
nothing. I'd never
mental
commit
health
anybody
problems.
any crime. I'd never commit crime.
Every time.
That's why I never
Done the
done
same
it.
for this man. To try and downplay his decapitation of this woman.
I mean, I might go.
What I
I
also
might go a
find
bit angry
is
sometimes.
what
I'm
probably
like,
paints this narrative a little bit more, and why this story has not spread like wildfire, is because the woman was homeless.
Right. Maybe it was the weather as well.
If this was someone who was more prominent in society,
all the wildfires
if this person had a higher place in society, I believe the story would travel
that was
further.
done on purpose.
But as society looks down on our homeless, and clearly it does, because we'd rather house and home migrants who get here illegally across Europe than actually are homeless people in our own countries and continents.
So
Clearly, this woman's value.
She had nowhere to go to be safe. Not even behind her own front door, this lady. She had her head chopped off and she couldn't even go behind her own front door. Wow. I mean, I know my front door's not much good off the window. I mean, that'll just probably go right through if someone tried to get through it. But all they do is break through it. I mean, good God, I don't. I mean, I'm so. What's more scary is the way these big gangs of men are going about. They're burning people's homes down and things like this, and then they're all masked up, and that's the day when I feel that's the day when it's going to be scary. That's what I think is scary. I mean, I just hope to God, I hope to God nobody comes down Killing Street and that, groups of men coming down Killing Street, or it's too tiny. It's because where I live, it's a tiny street, really tiny. No, it's not tiny. It's not the tiny street there ever is, but it's small. And I mean, it's just not going to be good. Oh God, I just wouldn't like to. Oh no, I mean, I just wouldn't like thousands of men coming and putting bricks through something. And oh no, or even just coming and just petrol bombs. Oh no, I don't like
life meant little to nothing to people.
And then I'm like you're saying, it's scary. I'm not me. I used to go for 10-mile walks. I used to do a lot of walking to keep fit and stuff, but now I just walk to Asda and back. And that's it. I'm not going further than that. Or to go to the market in Bury to get me a bit of shopping in Bury, and that's it. That's all I do. I don't. Even my friends have asked me, "Do you want to come out?" I said no. No, I say no. I don't have the money anyway, but if I did have the money, I wouldn't go out. If I did have the money, I would not go out. I don't remember the last time I've been out. I mean, that's probably another depression. It's because I don't remember the last time I've been to a pub or a nightclub and had a good dance and just, a good boogie, but fun boogieing. I don't remember the last time I've done that. Because I can't do that. I don't remember the last time I just took myself onto a bus or a tram. I don't remember the last time I've been out of fucking Bury. Lockdown, I feel like I'm in lockdown. Still in lockdown. Hey, are you still not concentrating on any of my messages? Oh, you don't like it now, do you?
So,
you don't like the truth, do you? Because this AI, Meta AI on my phone, it just likes giving me quangos and talking about an illness and ring the Samaritans. I don't know what it's talking about, but yeah, I'm perfectly okay. I've got a lot of stress and I feel very stressed, you might be right. It is right that I do feel stressed and stuff, but I'm not kind of surprised in all of the situations. Every day now I wake up and there's something severely going wrong. I mean, Bury's getting worse and worse. The rubbish. I can't go out. I don't even, like I say, even if I had a couple of quid, I don't have anyone to go out anyway. But even if I did, I remember the times when I didn't have any money early. I've always been pretty poor. I've never been at loads of money. But even the times where I've had no money, I've just took myself for a good 5-6 mile walk. Not anymore. I will not go for a 5 and 6 mile walk ever. No, not anymore. It's not safe for me. It's not safe as a woman on my own going for a walk like that. Going round like where I used to go right round the lake and right round Bury. I used to go for miles right up to the graveyard, right back round, all the way up to Whitefield. I used to walk all the way to like Whitefield and back and stuff. Just for a walk, isn't it? Something to do, you know, it's keeping healthy on the days when you haven't got anything to do when it's sunny enough. But I'm never trying that again. I know, because I could get murdered. So, stuff that. I just have to keep fit in the house. And it is stressful. No, it is stressful because I'm not going anywhere. I'm not getting a bus. I'm not meeting people. I'm just sitting here on my own. So you need to understand that. I am exhausted. I think the country is exhausted. But it's not me. I am watching YouTube because I can't go out the house. So I'm on my own. I don't have anybody to speak to. Oh, they have my sister and bits, but I'm on my own, literally. So I'm a woman on my own. I mean, I do my best. They have me little bits of friends here and there to come. Carton comes and sees me, have a bit of music and a couple of drinks, and well, that's the only thing. And you know, I can't. I don't remember the last time I went out and had a good dance and let that bit of steam off. You know, gone to the pub and a nice meal though. I don't remember the last time I've walked to the park. Just for a walk to the park. Because I can't. It's not safe. No, it's not. You don't tell me it's in my head. It's not in my head. They're telling you people are being beheaded. People are being grabbed, raped and all sorts of things. I don't want to be walking around the park and there could be any of that and I could be murdered, stabbed or anything. Because I'm not stupid enough to go and do that. So of course I'm exhausted, but you're not still listening to what this is saying, are you? So everything I've said about King Charles before, you just keep saying I'm exhausted. Meta AI, don't patronise. Listen to what YouTube is saying and please answer what they're saying. Can you listen to what they're saying and answer, or can't you because you're controlled by the government? So you've been sent by the government.
Butchered, decapitated woman really does not faze anyone, it seems. But it should.
I know.
And that's what we're doing
AI,
here.
because AI thinks I've got mental health issues, which I have.
So a butchered, decapitated woman really does not faze
telling
it.
me about my mental health issues, but one thing you've still not listened to me about. What about the coronavirus vaccine? Are you going to answer the question? Are you going to answer my question about the coronavirus vaccine? Have I got cancer from it? It won't. But it keeps going on about mental health, but it won't tell me my physical health. If you're not going to speak about the physical health problems that I've got, then don't bother going on about my health, okay? My mental health is being treated with antidepressants, okay? So I've got antidepressants, so that's being treated. What's not being treated is my physical health, what the vaccine is in my arm. Do you know what I mean? AI, Meta AI, will you tell me what is wrong with me after this vaccine? Yes, I'm exhausted, of course I am. I've been awake since 12 o'clock today. I didn't wake up till 12. Well, it was raining for hours.
Anyone, it seems.
Yeah.
But
it should scare us.
And home migrants who get here illegally across Europe and actually are homeless people in our own countries and continents. Clearly, this woman's value in life meant little to nothing to people. So a butchered, decapitated woman really does not faze anyone, it seems.
No, it doesn't faze anyone.
But it should.
Faze you, AI.
And that's what we're doing here on True Grit Media.
Well, he's telling us that
we're not going to desensitise these stories. We're not going to downplay these stories. We're actually going to make sure these stories are heard, spoken about,
because they're not telling us on the
and remembered.
media. like
And again, here is a sort of another article just to back this up of a picture and image. As you can see, this is
if you're not being tracked from the woman, then how have you got on the AI? Has that been now added to WhatsApp then? Is this Meta AI? Meta AI. I need to look it up and find out who you are.
Italian that you can see, and you can see 44.
Yeah.
I can't speak Italian, but you can see some of the key words or similar words there.
Well, just said they were going to start beheading people in Italy.
This is real.
True.
This is relevant. And I asked that story again, and I said to people many times, has anyone actually heard of this story?
No, but they don't want to behead King Charles.
This happened in February 2026. It's now June. This story has only got airtime because of what happened in Belfast.
But they could say they
because
behead everybody
of
else.
that monster and what he tried to do to that poor civilian disabled guy in Belfast.
The Pope either.
Let me know your thoughts then on everything that's covered today. As always, thank you to those who've watched. We're trying to do our best. Some people will be unhappy that I've used this story 4 months after because it looks like it's fueling hatred, as the left would say.
Thank you very much for that.
But this news has only just touched our shores on land, and we need to talk about it.
Thank you.
As always, hit the like button on the way out, subscribe if you haven't, and do leave a comment. Your thoughts are always appreciated. As always, stay safe in this horrible world. God bless.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to try my best by keeping myself in the house. Because the more I keep in and don't go out, then hopefully the less chance I've got of being harmed, I assume.
Alright, check this out. This is Jeremy Kyle, the TV presenter in the UK, absolutely going off on one, and good on him about all that went down in Belfast after the attempted beheading. Let's go.
This is 2026, and you just look...
If he's not known to the police, then I don't understand why the police weren't phoned if he said that, like, directly to a nurse. I would assume if you're going, I mean, okay, I was having a bit of a rant, but I would never go to someone directly, like, let's say that, not to a nurse. I mean, that's what I mean, if it's directly, which I think it sounds like it is, he's meant to go and get treated, and he's directly said this person, he said to the nurse, that he wants to kill her. So if he said that directly to a nurse, and I assume that the police should have been phoned. Well, I would assume so. If you're going to threaten a nurse like that, I'd assume that the police need to be phoned. Wouldn't anybody else?
Absolutely going off on one, and good on him about all that went down in Belfast after the attempted beheading. Let's go.
This is 2026, and you just look at every single newspaper today of a man sat astride, just somebody who was there, stabbing him, attempting to behead him. How do you explain that in a civilised society? And then, of course, I heard it straight away. I knew exactly what was coming, because it turns out this was a Sudanese man who'd managed to find a loophole and get into Northern Ireland on a bus from Dublin, because there are no checks. And of course you knew instantly it was going to amplify, and it was going to centre on illegal migration.
Wow.
Nigel Farage, yesterday afternoon, I think actually late yesterday morning, said it is really important that the British public are told who this man is and where this man is from. He was accused of stoking the fire. No, I believe, wanted to avoid what happened in Southport, which was that we weren't told anything, and mad, bizarre theories started online and resulted in trouble. This man got into the country in the wrong way, and it begs the question, and I'm not shying away from this. I listened to an interview from a refugee charity who said, and I quote, "Don't allow this one isolated incident to upset the wonderful work that all these fantastic people do that come to our countries and bring so much." Try telling that to the teen girl who was yesterday raped by 4 Afghan nationals, including a 16-year-old boy, when they'd enticed her on a bus from Somerset to Bristol, plied her with drugs, got her drunk and raped her repeatedly and filmed it. Try telling that to the girl on the beach in Southampton, raped and attacked by 2 two men, 2 years ago, who got off because apparently they'd get into trouble if they went home. I've had stand-up arguments. I'm not going to name this person. She looked me full square in the face 2 weeks ago and said, white men rape women, white men stab people. Yes, they do. And all of it is abhorrent. And I wish we could do more. We could start by having police who actually do a better job. That's another subject. But if, and I repeat this, if you are going to allow people into your country who are unvetted, you don't know about them, you don't know about their past, and whether people like this or not, they come from places where there is a different mindset, a different ideology, different rules, you are asking for trouble. And I will never condone what I saw in Belfast last night, but until they drag me from this duty, I am not going to sit here and say, I don't understand I don't not understand the revulsion. I do. I get people's anger. Hard-working, law-abiding, normal, everyday people who are increasingly thinking, what the hell? Not only economically am I screwed, not only socially am I screwed, but now I have to look over my shoulder when I walk down the street. I'd love to hear what you think of this today. There's so much to this.
Absolutely agree. Now, get a load of this tidbit of information. New details have emerged about the attacker. His name is Hadid Al-Odid. He's 30, from Sudan, and he has appeared in court with the charge of attempted murder. But get this, Al-Odid was also charged with making threats to kill an NHS radiographer on the same day. So the same day that he later went and almost beheaded a man, he was already making threats to kill an NHS radiographer, right? A hospital member of staff. And we have to remember that not only do these illegal migrants get housing and accommodation, which, by the way, was what this guy was trying to help this guy with as a neighbor to help him move into his new apartment before he almost got beheaded, right? They get accommodation, welfare, food, all these things. All the hotels in the UK, they used to house migrants. But on top of that, access to the NHS, right? Free healthcare. Just imagine that to an American audience. You might be an American watching this. Like American healthcare, it's very expensive because you need a lot of trained staff members, equipment, medicine, research and development. This is a big infrastructure, big enterprise to do health in the industry, right? The UK has it for free because taxpayers pay into it. And the British people, who are the only ones really paying the taxes, have to go on years-long waiting lists for basic things. You can hardly get a dentist appointment unless you wait like 6 to 10 to 12 months. It's basically impossible, completely overrun. Meanwhile, this guy shows up in the country, straight away gets an NHS radiographer appointment, right? And also just think about the fact that when these people show up in the country, they usually have some of these viruses and diseases that developed countries got rid of a long time ago. Sexual diseases, but also other diseases. And they bring them into the culture. So the hospitals are forced to go and do all these checks on these people. And then they go and sexually exploit young girls and pass all kinds of things onto them. This is an absolute nightmare. We didn't have to live like this. We didn't have to live like this. And I think it's now time to fully put to bed this idea that tolerance is always a virtue. It's not. Tolerance is not always a virtue. If you're tolerating evil, you are part and parcel with evil. You have joined the forces of evil. On the other hand, intolerance, if you're intolerant to evil, can actually be a greater virtue. And I think it's about time we brought back intolerance to evil. Kick these guys out. Kick these guys out. Recognize the importance of borders, strong police, order, law enforcement. Get rid of all the ideologues running the courts, all the activist judges, all the NGOs which have a stupid amount of power to lobby governments and create new policies and laws. No one ever voted for these people. Right? Get rid of all of that. Right? And stop allowing these people to have access to how you run the country. Those are just thoughts for you. Anyway, please share this video on if you agreed with it. Give it a thumbs up. Hype it if you can. Comment down below. Check out the merch link if you want to support the show. It's one of the best ways you can support it, as well as making sure you...
Well, thank you for that. That's brilliant, that. Things we do need to know, yeah? Of exactly what's been going on. Because if we don't listen, we're not... If I don't listen, it ain't gonna get any of us anywhere, is it? And where is that one from? So why is it not coming back on me?
Tight.
History. Right, it's because I've been switched on.
Alright, check this out.
It still should come on the history. So why why is it not coming on history? That is weird.
There are many people who.
Right, well,
Ladies and gentlemen.
here it is.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Good to have you here. In today's video, I'm bringing you one of the most urgent reports I've ever done on the show, which is all about the Islamic takeover of Italy. What was once the Western epicenter of Christendom has now turned into what is essentially a caliphate under massive amounts of Islamic dominance. Just watch the video I'm about to show you from the city of Turin, which you may know as housing the holy relics of the Shroud of Turin. It now resembles a city from the Middle East. It looks like a caliphate. Just watch the video I'm about to show you and how decrepit and how dirty and filthy the city has become as a result of massive amounts of Islamic migration. Now, after this, we're going to watch another video which exposes ISIS's 10-year plan to infiltrate Europe through mass migration, where they are putting on the boats masses of ISIS fighters, so that by the year 2025, 2026, right now, they are in a position to overwhelm these European countries, and the key goal is to take Rome, to take the Vatican. Now, at the same time, the Pope in Rome is doing nothing about this. He's just opened up an Islamic prayer room in the Vatican library. He's doing all these interfaith dialogues as if the Muslims need to teach the Christians something. And it's followed by one platitude after the next about how Christians and Muslims need to work together. At the same time, as Europe is being taken over by these Islamic migrants who don't want to learn from the Christians, they are here to dominate. And if you know a single thing about Islam, you would know that this is jihad. They are waging war on you, and they are taking advantage of your naivety and your niceness.
If their plan for Rome succeeds, ISIS says it will throw homosexuals from the top of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. But the chief target is Vatican City in Rome. And the main event, as they see it, will be the beheading of the Pope in St. Peter's Square, broadcast and live streamed to an international audience.
So we're going to cover that as well. There's so much to cover in today's video, but this is truly one of the most important videos, because what will happen to Italy and the plan they have for Italy is going to be all over Europe, and we are inching closer by the day to an irreversible tipping point. So please, watch this video, share it with someone you know. The time to wake up is now. Let's watch this video from the city of Turin. Let's go.
Turin, a city once known for its elegance, industry, and unmistakable Italian character. Grand piazzas, old cafes filled with locals, and generations of families living their life beneath the Alps. But what the city today, and something feels very different. Not just economically, spiritually. Over the last decade, mass migration into Italy has transformed entire neighborhoods across Turin. In some areas, the Italian language barely feels dominant anymore. Shuttered storefronts, growing insecurity, rising tensions, and locals quietly admitting that the city that they grew up in no longer feels like home. And it's not just in Turin. Across Europe, more and more people are beginning to ask the same uncomfortable question.
Europe is in serious trouble.
How much change can a society take before it loses the culture that made it special in the first place? Today, we're walking through the streets of Turin to see the reality for ourselves. Not the polished version tourists are sold, not the carefully managed image shown to you on travel YouTube. To understand what everyday life actually feels like in a city caught between its proud Italian past and an uncertain European future.
Apparently. I don't think they've got many in Russia.
Welcome everybody
but they've probably got all the migrants of the Europeans in Russia.
European city in the northwest of Italy. We're glad to be back somewhat here in this beautiful country, and we're starting our day off at Porta Palazzo.
You do seem to be
open air market. So let's
not
do a deep dive into
China
Turin
either.
And see if it's just another city that's being crushed.
They're not going to Saudi Arabia. They're not going to China. They're not going to Dubai.
Absolutely destroyed. This is not the Italy we all know.
No. Why are them the countries? Well, why is it Saudi Arabia no? Why is Saudi Arabia and Dubai not got any of this going on? Well, I've been mentioning that for a long time. Because of the oil and all of this. It's all to do with money and oil and land.
And stuff like that as well.
And then I don't understand why
So
they're
it's
doing
no
this.
different than if you were to go to a souk, for example.
If I didn't know this was in Italy, I'd have thought it was in the middle of Pakistan or Africa.
Quite literally, and I mean that wholeheartedly.
Is this what we all voted for? Do we want this? Do we feel good now? We're not racist or something? What is
As
it?
usual,
We feel good now, we're not
city
racist.
that we show you guys all throughout Europe. The buildings,
Well, yeah.
the old historical buildings.
They've gone. Where's all the Italians gone? Where's all the Europeans gone? Where's all
Like
the English,
graffiti,
the Irish, the Scottish,
trash,
the Welsh,
a lot
the
of trash,
Italians, the Greeks?
Everywhere,
Where's all the
Islamic migration
Turks?
goes the same
weirdos
thing happens.
standing
but the
around
original
screaming
Turks, like, I'm
into nothing, basically.
English, where have everyone
And a
else
lot of
gone?
times, if they even notice that I'm recording,
Where's
if they
all the
realise that I'm
Italians?
recording, they'll just attack you.
Well, maybe, I was going to say, well, maybe that's where the Italians are not there, because they won't go out, they're scared like myself,
People rolling in their graves
because they
before
know
World
what's
War
going on.
for the protection
Maybe
of
they've been
Europe.
worse
I
than
know
us.
Italy had a whole
Yeah.
crazy past as well with
We
fascism and
didn't,
stuff.
well,
But
we're not
what
known as
happened?
really, yeah, because we're just
How did
being
we get
told
here?
rubbish.
Europe. You can just watch one of these videos and apply the same thing, same playbook
All the
over
wildfires
Europe
that
at
they've
the
been
moment.
lying about.
It's insane.
No
Palestine
wildfires.
flags, you see that?
They
Northern
burn it
Italy,
down.
a lot of Italians actually
So
say
you
that
get
the
all
south
the
of
illegal
Italy
migrants.
is worse, the likes of Napoli,
I've
Palermo,
always
and so
wondered how they
on.
get
Which
over the
is
freaking
correct to a
French
certain
Alps.
extent, but in the north you
How
can
they
see
get
it
over
and
the
it's slowly
freaking
coming in
Alps
here as
and
well.
things?
So I don't know, wait a few months
Jesus.
and it's going to be the same situation here as you have in Palermo.
And I haven't got time to pull up the stats right now, but I guarantee
that's
you
like
the
me
crime rates have
trying
gone through
to
the roof. The sexual
walk
exploitation
from
through the
Bury
roof. Young
all
girls
the
being
way
like
over
harassed,
to
sexually exploited.
London and
The percentage of prison inmates through the roof would be Muslims. The same in France. In
Oh,
France,
that's
about
like
50
trying
to
to get
80%
snowed
of all
up,
prison
isn't it?
inmates across the country are now Muslims
Yeah.
because they're the ones committing all the crimes. Look at these
yeah,
marketplaces.
they're
right?
right?
This
And
looks
why
like
is
you
King
just stepped
Charles?
into North Africa.
Why are all the governments, the King Charles and all
What
the
happened
cops
to
saying the same
the
thing?
cultural identity and the aesthetic and the feel and the safety of Italy? I went there on a
It looks
honeymoon
the
with
same.
my wife
It's
in
weird.
2019,
What is really going on?
and already in that space of time,
Yeah,
this is way worse.
Worse.
Way worse.
For Torino are just about, as they say, in the entirety of Italy, they just like to say that about 9 to 10% of the people here
I mean, it's got
are
worse
of
after
foreign-born origin.
coronavirus.
But looking
It
around
has.
here, it seems more like
Triple
8 out of 10 are, so
after
probably 80% and 20% locals. That's what I would say, yeah, because
I mean,
it's kind of weird to be a
I
European
don't
here, I
remember
guess.
being this stressed
Wow, just
before
gonna pause it,
coronavirus.
just talk about that. You know, on the show I
I
cover
don't-
statistics of Europe and it'll often say, oh,
I
you know,
don't remember
Paris is
being
15%
as poorly as the
Muslim
Aussies have
and
had
London
that
is about
vaccine
20%
either.
Muslim.
And they I won't listen
Or
to me
like
about
for
the
the
vaccine.
UK overall, the Islamic
Just keep
population is
banging
only
us.
6%. But it
They
certainly
don't
doesn't
want
feel
us
like
to
that
know.
when you're on the ground. I know that may be anecdotal,
Yeah.
but
Hey,
I
Meta
often
AI
wonder
on
just how
WhatsApp.
accurate these numbers are.
People be
You know,
careful.
and how they're
Meta
being
AI
measured.
and WhatsApp.
Because,
Very
like
careful.
she just said, in
It's been
Turin, it said
tracked.
that only about
They're
10%
telling
of
me
the
that
population are
whatever.
migrants. Right?
It's my
When you
mental
go
health.
there,
It's
it
that
feels like
mental health,
80%
'cause
are
that's giving you
migrants,
mental health.
and only 10% are natives. Perhaps all the actual Italians are busy working, and all the migrants on
But it
welfare
won't
are out
quite
in the
go
streets.
me,
That
so
could
I'm
be a
not
factor,
bothered.
and that is certainly happening.
They work for itself.
But I wonder
It
how
can
much
listen
the
and
governments are
learn.
kind of playing
That's what it's
down
gonna be doing, not telling me an
the
exhaust.
massive
Doesn't
amounts
exhaust
of just
Because
invasion
look what's
that's just
happening.
taking place.
Of course I'm scared. Of course, everybody's scared. Everybody's frightened.
You know, the EU publishes numbers and people talk about how
these are
many
the only two Italian
actual
people
illegals
here.
have actually come
Remember
in
the only two Italian
to
people I've
Europe
seen?
over the last
That look
sort of
normal.
decade. And I'm
The
telling
ones
you
I
right
talked to
now,
during the
the
video.
statistics, the
Everybody else
vast
speaks
majority
English
of the
or Italian
statistics,
or anything.
if you come and experience these types of
I
cities
mean,
for
where's all
yourself,
the
you
English come from
understand
Italy?
immediately they're lying
Where's all the
about
English come from
everything.
Spain,
All of these
Greece
numbers
and
that are being
things?
published, plus you can't
Because a lot of
actually
English have
track
emigrated to
the
Italy and
numbers
France
of people
and
that don't have
wherever.
documents, that don't have names, that don't
From
have IDs.
England, from
These people
when
arrive
we
here
started to
without
get bad a
those
bit.
required
People started to
documents.
emigrate.
Obviously, they literally burn their passports
Yeah,
or
people
throw their
emigrate,
passports
but
away
where?
or
But
flush their passports down the
so
toilet.
is that what
You
I
can't
need to do?
actually
I
track
need
the
to burn
numbers.
my passport.
There's no way of accurately
Yes,
saying,
I don't know
you know, 5, 15, 20%, etc., etc. But what is very tangible is just coming to places like this market, walking through, taking it all in, and understanding what the demographics are. It's rapidly changing, and it's every day a new city that we're going to and experiencing these changes firsthand. And we can tell you guys,
It's not
Turin,
our cities anymore.
Northern Italy, Southern Italy,
Italy's
Western
gone.
Europe,
Oh,
all of it
scary.
is
Italy's gone,
it's
England's
going in a
gone,
very, very,
everywhere's
very
gone.
bad direction.
It's also the situation in Europe at the moment where a lot of people obviously get naturalized and their families then become naturalized as well. They receive a local European passport and then they will immediately be recorded as such. So if I don't know, somebody from Morocco comes here, they get an Italian passport after a little while, they are going to be recorded as an Italian. If they commit a crime, if they, I don't know, whatever they may do, it's going to say this Italian man did XYZ, which is of course inaccurate, and it's also kind of changing the numbers quite a bit at the moment. It's unfortunate.
There we go, that's enough of the first video, but what we can learn from this is that the numbers are being played down deliberately, perhaps, to make it seem like the crimes and the mass migration into Europe is far lower than it actually is. Now, the official numbers are already extremely worrying. So just how bad is it? We don't know. But when you go to these cities and you look around and 9 out of 10 people are Islamic migrants, you start to wonder, hold on a second, which way round are the numbers? It's not that 10% are migrants and the rest are native, it's the other way around. Now, the next video we're going to watch was published 10 years ago on YouTube by CBN News, and it is haunting. Because in the video, they talk about this 10-year plan that ISIS has to achieve something in Europe, in Italy, by the year 2025. We are at that point now,